lies something extraordinary. Incredible stories of ingenious solutions to problems most of us never knew existed. So what mysteries are concealed in everyday things we take for granted? Armored cars, lifts, cheese. Behind the ordinary is the extraordinary. Now revealed as we go behind the scenes, inside the machines to find out how do they do it. How do you protect yourself from violent crime or acts of terror? If you're a politician, a diplomat, or just on the run from the mob, you may need one of these. Although these two Chevys look identical, one of them will cost you around $40,000 and the other one will cost $250,000. So what are the optional extras? Well, one of them doubles as a fully equipped military standard armored car, just in case. So how do you turn a run-of-the-mill pickup truck into a state-of-the-art armored car? Welcome to Cincinnati, Ohio, home of Centagon, the world's biggest and oldest firm customizing ordinary vehicles into armored cars. Every year, the company beefs up 1,800 cars for its customers, who range from celebrities to business moguls, government officials, and the military. They've been armoring vehicles here for over 60 years. They even converted the open-top Lincoln Continental that President Kennedy was riding in on that fateful day in Dallas when he was assassinated. The people who work here love it. Every day you feel like you're in a Harrison Ford movie and you get to cut up some really nice cars.
Guys love cars, and I think that's why our guys here take such great pride in building these cars, because guys love driving cars, building cars, fast cars, slow cars, high-performance cars, whatever it may be. The people here have that kind of feeling towards building something to do with a car.
So how do they turn an ordinary SUV into an armor-plated, bulletproof, bomb-resistant mobile fortress? Step 1, rip everything out and rebuild from scratch. Almost everything has to go. Brakes, suspension, tires, fuel tank, windows. After 7 hours, the car is stripped bare, ready to be measured for its new suit of armor. The vehicle shell is filmed from every angle by a 3D imaging camera. Every undulation, ridge, peak, and trough is plotted to produce a virtual computer image of the car. The designer then uses this to plan where to position the vehicle's armor plating.
What you can see here is the armor plate laid in over top of this skin model that we created earlier. And for instance, this yellow piece that's running along the bottom here, that is a segment of the floor. And you can see that it runs from midway of the vehicle all the way to the front. And that's really good for ballistics and blast protection.
A cutting machine automatically follows the computer-generated pattern to produce internal armor to the exact specifications. On this model, each of the defensive steel plates is over 1 centimeter thick and weighs almost 10 kilograms. The freshly cut metal tiles are then fitted together and welded into the vehicle. But even when the body is fitted with metal armor, you're still not safe. Step 2, replace the windows. But how do you make glass that will withstand a high-velocity bullet? First, the glass sheet must be assembled in a temperature-controlled, dust-free room to avoid any tiny blemishes which could weaken the window. Layers of glass and polycarbonate are sandwiched together. The thicker the stack, the tougher the glass.
It is quite extraordinary to be able to turn a normal piece of glass into something that can stop a 50 caliber bullet.
But does it? There's only one way to find out.
The ammunition we'll be using today is an M80. It's a standard NATO sniper round. What I'll do is I'll load this test barrel and fire the round.
The tin foil behind the glass represents a passenger. If the foil remains intact, our VIP will remain unscathed.
Now, had a passenger been riding in this car, I'm sure it would have been a rather terrifying experience. And as you can see, there's no damage done behind it to the skin, so hopefully, although scared out of their wits, the person has gone on to live a long, happy life afterwards.
But you're still not absolutely 100% totally safe. So step 3, Centigon's super safe extras for the ultra cautious. To protect the wheels from gunfire, they fit a 3-inch thick plastic hoop called a rod guard around the original metal wheel rim inside the tyre. The rod guards will take the weight of the car so that it can ride away from danger even when the tyres are ripped to shreds. These wheels will take a bullet at speed and still keep going for another 50 kilometres. Using technology borrowed from Formula One racing cars, new fuel tanks are made from ballistic steel and then packed with foam to prevent explosions. And then there's doubly reinforced doors. A second inner metal door in the boot. And a hand grenade blocker for the end of your exhaust pipe. The added extras don't come cheap, though. The basic Chevy Tahoe costs about $40,000. The fully armoured car can set you back up to $1 million. The car is now super safe, but it's also super heavy. The fully armoured version adds a staggering 1,800 kilograms of weight. That's like carrying 2 sports cars around on your roof rack.
The one major thing that you really got to watch for on these is stopping distance because of the increased weight. And of course, the gas mileage is affected because of the additional weight. These trucks don't get that good of gas mileage anyway, but if you can afford one of these trucks, you don't really have to worry about how much gas you're going to use or what the mileage is. You're more worried with the safety aspect of it.
And that's the security drawback in having an armoured car. You've got to keep getting out to fill her up with gas. Behind the ordinary is the extraordinary. Coming up, as far as architects are concerned, the sky's the limit. But how high can you build a lift shaft? The secrets behind super lifts, next on How Do They Do It? The skyscrapers going up today are jaw-droppingly, mind-bendingly, breathtakingly tall. Over 350 meters, the Bank of China. Over 450 meters, the Petronas Towers. And now in Taipei, Taiwan, the tallest skyscraper ever built reaches over 500 meters. But none of them would be possible without the lift. Across the globe, lifts move 2 billion people a day. That's the equivalent of the world's entire population every 72 hours. After 20 years of service, a lift will have traveled on average 460,000 kilometers. That's 12 times around the world. But building a lift in a skyscraper poses special challenges. So how do they do it? Taipei 101, completed in 2004. This is the world's tallest skyscraper. It soars an incredible 509 meters high, dwarfing every other building around it. And to get to the top of the world's tallest building, you need the world's fastest lifts. This lift accelerates to over 1,000 meters a minute. That's more than 60 kilometers per hour, or as fast as a greyhound at full pelt. Amazingly, this isn't the lift's top speed. But if it went any faster, it would hurt your ears. These lifts whisk 24 passengers at a time from the ground floor to the 89th in little more than half a minute. And incredibly, they do it using the same amount of electricity as a single light bulb. The secret of how lifts manage to do so much work but use so little power usually lies hidden from view. Happily, on London's Lloyd's building, the lifts are mounted on the outside, revealing how they work. The cables supporting the lift run up to the top of the shaft through a set of wheels called sheaves and then back down to a massive metal counterweight. As the lift rises, the counterweight descends. In principle, it's just like a kid's seesaw. The counterweight weighs nearly the same as the lift when it's half full. So all the motor has to do is move the additional weight of 1 or 2 passengers. Moving passengers efficiently is essential to a lift, but an even bigger concern is safety. To find out more, we've come to the historic town of Gien in central France.